Hello and welcome back. Metal Rocker 86 is here with my last video of 2022. I think it's only fitting that I review an album that was released this year. So here is my review of the Scorpions' most recent release, Rock Believer. I don't think I need to give the Scorpions' backstory again, but if you'd like to hear it, please go watch my review of Love at First Sting. On to the album. Rock Believer is the Scorpions' 19th studio album, and it was released on February 25th of 2022. It ranked as high as first in Belgium and Poland, and second in France, Germany, Switzerland, and the US. It consists of 11 songs, and altogether is about 44.5 minutes long. The band was not sure if they would record another album after Return to Forever. They were interested, but they were waiting for the right inspiration. This album was actually recorded remotely because of the COVID pandemic. On lead vocals is Klaus Meine. On rhythm guitar and backing vocals is Rudolf Schenker. On lead guitar, rhythm guitar, acoustic guitar, and slide guitar is Matthias Hobbs. On bass is Paolo Massawoda. And finally, on drums is Mickey D. Now on to the songs, all of which the lyrics were written by Klaus Meine. It starts with my favorite song on the album. The music was written by Rudolf Schenker. It's called Gas in the Tank. This one is quite up-tempo and it gives off great energy. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars in this one, and it gives off the feel of driving along the highway. There are also some drums in the background, and during the intro there are some sirens. I feel like the lyrics describe wanting to continue on as a band, no matter how old you are. This was one of the only times where Klaus wrote the lyrics first and the music was written second. Rudolf Schenker can be quoted saying, "Hey, there's still gas in the tank, my friend." There are a lot of references in this song, like how Rudolf Schenker is the king of riffs and his flying V guitar, and there's even a reference to one of their older albums on this one, Blackout. This was an amazing song to start the album with, and it really gets you pumped. This next one is also fast-paced, and the music was also written by Rudolf Schenker. It's called Roots in My Boots. Instrumentation. The high energy continues in this song with the rockin' riffs that'll get your head banging, but you can also hear the drums in the background. I really like the solo in this one too. According to Klaus Meine, the song was inspired when the band wanted to go back to their old ways with their new songs. This was another great song on the album. Now the tempo slows down. The music was also written by Rudolf Schenker. It's called Knock 'em Dead. Instrumentation. During the intro, the guitars and drums can be heard equally. Then the guitars steal the show and the riff is catchy. The solo will get you rockin'. The song is a reference to their first show in the US in 1979. They were a band from Germany, and it was very hard for them to get a show. Even though their show was only a half hour, they made the most of it. This was another great song on the album. Now we get to the album's title song, Rock Believer. The tempo slows down again. The music, however, this time was written by Klaus Meine and Rudolf Schenker, and it was also released as a single. Instrumentation. It starts off with some hard guitars and some background drums. Then, for the first verse, the drums disappear and the guitars get a lot quieter until the end of the verse. Then the hard guitars and drums come back. I really like the guitar solo in this one too. As for the lyrics, many people in this day and age say rock is dead, but the Scorpions beg to differ, and as do I. This was an amazing song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up a little as we get to Shining of Your Soul. The music was written by Rudolf Schenker and Greg Fiedelman, and it was also released as a single. Instrumentation. For the intro, the main focus is on the hard guitars with some background drums, and they give off a reggae feel a little. In the first verse, the guitars get a little quieter. I like the solo here too. This is supposed to be a love song where someone is expressing how much they love someone. This was another good song on the album. The tempo is kinda slow as we get to Seventh Son, which was also released as a single. The music was written by Rudolf Schenker, Hans Martin Buff, Ingo Powitzer, and Greg Fiedelman. Instrumentation. For the intro and verse, the main focus is actually on the bass and drums with some guitar riffs here and there, and they give off a feeling of Black Sabbath's Iron Man. In the chorus, however, the guitars are the main focus. The themes I can hear in this song are death and reincarnation as well as the afterlife. This was another good song on the album. Now the tempo really picks up as we get to Hot and Cold, and the music was written by Matthias Hobbs. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the hard guitars in this one, and they give off great energy. But you can also hear the drums in the background, and I really like the solo in this one. I should probably not describe the lyrics in this song, but it was a good song on the album. The tempo is ultra fast paced as we get to When I Lay My Bones to Rest, and it gives off a Motorhead feel. The music was written by Rudolf Schenker. Instrumentation. The main focus again is on the guitars in this one, and they'll get your head banging. But you can also hear the drums in the background, and I like the solo in this one too. The song is about the friendship between Klaus Meine and Rudolf Schenker, and how they've been rocking through the years and will continue to do so as long as they can. There is also a reference to another Scorpions song from Love at First Sting called Bad Boys Runnin' Wild. This was another great song on the album. Now this next one is also quite up-tempo, and it was also released as a single. It's called Peacemaker. The music was written by Rudolf Schenker and Paolo Massawoda. Instrumentation. The guitars also give off great energy in this one, but you can also hear the drums in the background, and I also really like the solo. The lyrics are a way to promote world peace, where a peacemaker rules the world instead of an undertaker who makes everything doom and gloom. This was another great song on the album. The tempo slows down again as we get to Call of the Wild, and the music was written by Rudolf Schenker. Instrumentation. The guitar riff is pretty hard and catchy in this one, and it gives off a blues feel, but you can also hear the drums in the background. I also like the solo in this one. I should probably not describe the lyrics in this day and age, but this was another good song on the album. Now the tempo really slows down as we get to the final song on the album, When You Know Where You Came From, and the music was written by Rudolf Schenker. Instrumentation. This one consists of a guitar and it sounds very soothing. The background drums are very quiet at first, but in the second verse they pick up and the guitars get much harder. The solo here is very nice. The song is about being who you are and chasing your dreams, but don't forget where you started. This was a great song to end the album with. So what did I like about this album? Wow! This album gives off the feel of classic Scorpions, and I love it! The songs were all very well written, they got the order right, the instrumentation sounded really good, and Klaus Meine nailed the vocals. There is nothing to change about this album. To conclude this, I will definitely recommend this album, and I know you will enjoy it. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Happy New Year to all, and to all, a rock on!